Hi, my name is Nicholas DeStefano, and I'm a senior at American Heritage School in Plantation, Florida. And the project that I worked on this year was an analysis of cholesterol species in the human optic nerve. Now, the purpose of this experiment was to analyze the differences in the levels of zymosterol between a normal optic nerve and a glaucomatous optic nerve. And not only this, but I wanted to take it a step further by also analyzing what causes the differences in the levels of zymosterol in the human optic nerve. Now, this project came about after a preliminary test was performed using high-resolution Q-exactive mass spectrometry in tandem with the cellular liquid chromatography. Now, this test highlighted a number of differences between a normal and glaucomatous optic nerve, but I really wanted to focus on zymosterol because of how much of a difference there was. And so here's a little info on zymosterol. Zymosterol is a precursor of cholesterol. It's found in both the block and Candu-Dressel pathway in cholesterol biosynthesis. It's found in the plasma membrane and circulating within cells. And now the structural features of zymosterol provided optimal substrate acceptability. Now this means it has a lot of phenyl groups as well as a longer carbon backbone. And at the end of that carbon backbone, it has a sort of Y-shaped groove. And this is good for helping bind with cells as well as sort of circulate better. And now after doing this, and that it's in both the block and Candu-Dressel in the cholesterol biosynthesis pathway, I hypothesized that if there was an increase in presence of the enzyme for zymosterol, which is SC4-mol, NSDHL, and HSD17B7, or a decrease in the enzyme EBP steroisomerase, which is the enzyme after, and then the levels of zymosterol would be increased in the human optic nerve. And I also wanted to see the enzymatic activity. So I hypothesized if there was a decrease in the enzymatic activity of the enzymes SC4-mol, NSDHL, and HSD17B7, or a decrease in the enzymatic activity of the enzyme EBP steroisomerase, then the levels of zymosterol would be increased in the human optic nerve. Now I had a number of tests to sort of prove this. I did IHC, I did Western blotting, and I also did enzymatic activity assays, and all of these tests showed similar results in support of the hypothesis. IHC and Western blotting did show that there was an increase in the enzymes before and a decrease in the enzymes after, and enzymatic activity assays supported the hypothesis. Now this is important because I wanted to do something that's sort of a preventative measure. I wanted to do something similar to create something similar to a pregnancy test or a blood typing test where you could put a little bit of the sort of substance you took, either blood or aqueous humor, and sort of create something that you could put that in and tell you if you have higher levels of zymosterol, which would put you at risk for developing glaucoma later in life. Thank you.